welcome back to SS Multimedia. My name is Naman Patil and I'm going to be teaching your lesson today. Today's lesson is going to be about equivalent fractions. Today's objective is to learn how to find equivalent fractions. Okay, so first off, let me divide these two words. Okay, and now let's talk about these two words. So the first is equivalent. So equivalent is basically equal. And here I can show you what equal is. So like 3 over 4 is equal to 3 over 4. These two are equivalent fractions. Okay? And then another equivalent fraction is 3 over 4 is equal to 6 over 8. Because 3 is multiplied by 2 to get 6, 4 is multiplied by 2 to get 8. Right? So those are equivalent fractions, or those are equivalent. Well, actually, yeah, those are equivalent fractions. So all of these, this number, this here, and this here, these are all fractions. Okay? So now let's just get started. So first off, I have two numbers here, 1/4 and 1/5. Okay, so we're going to be writing down some equivalent fractions for each of these numbers, or fractions, okay? So we always start off with the number, or the starting number, right? So 1/4 and 1/5. I'm gonna go ahead and do 1/4 now. So all we have to do here is multiply both the numerator and the denominator by a whole number, by the same whole number. Okay, so since we already did it by 1, because 1 times any number is equal to itself, let's move on to this times 2. So 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 4 is 8. So 2 over 8. And then now let's move on to 3. We don't multiply this by 3, we multiply 1/4 by 3. So 4 times 3 is 4, 8, 12. So let's write down 12 as our denominator, and 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, let's move on. So for each problem, we're going to be writing 6 equivalent fractions. Okay, so next we have times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. And then 4 times 1 is 4. As you can see, all of these are equal. We can even prove that. Okay, because if you count 2 to 8, okay, by the multiples of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 4 times, right? And we have 4 as the denominator right here. Okay? So, now we're done with 1, 2, 3 multiples. We have 3 more. So let's move on down here. Next we have 5. 4 times 5 is 20. So we have 20 as the denominator. And then 5 times 1 is 5. Next we have times 6. 6, 12, 18, 24. 6 times 4 is 24, and 6 times 1 is 6. You always multiply the same whole number to the numerator and the denominator. So we're done with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Now it's times 7. Okay? So times 7 is 7, 14, 21, 28. 28. And 7 times 1 is 7. Okay, so now that we have done that, let's move on to the next number. So here we have 1/5. Let's multiply it by 2 first. So 5 times 2 is 10. And then 2 times 1 is 2. Let's do the next multiple. So now it's 5 times 3, which is 15. 3 times 1 is 3. Next we have times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. And 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Next we have 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 1 is 5. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 2 more multiples. So now it's times 6. So let's do 6 times 5, which is 30. And then 6 times 1 is 6. Then we have times 7. So 7 times 5 is 35. 35. 7 times 1 is 7. Okay, so we have our multiples now. You can keep going with these multiples. You don't have to stop right here. But I'm going to stop right here just so we can get over with this. Because we're going to keep going until the end of time. So, now that we have done this, let's do some more. We have 1/9 and 1/10. So let's start off with 1/9. I'm going to use a different color. 1/9. Okay, times 2. 18 over, or 2 over 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 3 times 1 is 3. Next we have 9 times 4, which is 36. 4 times 1 is 4. Next we have 9 times 5, which is 45. And then 5 times 1 is 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 more. So let me just write down the comma there, okay? So now we have times 6. So 9 times 6 is 54. 6 times 1 is 6. Then we have times 7. 7 times 9 is 63. 7 times 1 is 7. Again, we can prove that this 2 over 18, for example, is equal to 1/9. Because if we count by 2s till 18, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, we get 9. And we have a denominator of 9, right? Okay. So now let's move on to the next number, next fraction. So 1/10. Okay, so let's write that down here. 1/10 times 2 is 20, and 2 over 20. Then times 3 is 30, or 3 over 30. Times 4 is 4 over 40. Okay, and then times 5 is 10 times 5 is 50. 1 times 5 is 5. And then we are done with 4, so 2 more. Next we have times 6. 10 times 6 is 60. 6 times 1 is 6. Then we have 10 times 7 is 70. And we have 7 times 1, which is 7. So, this is how you find the multiples of, or sorry, not the multiples, the equivalent fractions of one fraction. Okay? So, all you have to do, remember, is multiply the same whole number by 1, or just by that same fraction, by both the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so here, let me give you a tiny example here. So 1/9, okay? So this, to find the equivalent fraction, the closest equivalent fraction, you just have to do times and 2. So now what you do is 2 times 1, which is 2, and then 2 times 9, which is 18, and it's the same here, right? Okay, so now that you guys know how to do this, you guys can try it yourself. Okay, so now's the time to pause the video and work these two, or find the equivalent fractions for these two fractions. And remember to always, always, always put your starting fraction down. Okay, so I just put it down, and you guys can pause the video now. I'll be waiting. Okay, so I hope you guys paused the video and worked out all of these equivalent fractions and have your answers ready. You guys are going to need to look for those answers now. So we're going to start, here, let's start opposite, right? So let's start with 1/6. So 1/6 times 2 is, let's do this, You know, I can't do that for every problem. So here, just 1/6 times 2. So 6 times 2 is 12. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we have 1/6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. And then 3 times 1 is 3. Then we have 6 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. And then 4 times 1 is 4. So now we're done with 4. Or no, 3. You can fit one more here probably. 6 times 5 is 30. And then 5 times 1 is 5. Then here we have 2 more left. Okay, so I think I'm going to change my mind about this one too. Don't worry, I'll give you more time to work this one out again. But we'll get to that after. Okay, now we have to do 6 times 6, which is 36. 6 times 1 is 6. Then we have 6 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42. And 7 times 1 is 7. Okay, so now to get to this one. I said I would change my mind, and I will. So, I'm going to take out this numerator here, because we have used 1 for every single numerator in this whole video, right? So let's make it maybe, alright, here, let's just change the whole fraction itself. Okay, so let's make it maybe 4/5. Okay, so now you guys can pause the video and work this problem out. I'll be waiting. Okay, so I hope you guys pause the video and work this problem out, or got all the equivalent fractions for this fraction, because we're about to do that. So now 4/5 times 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. 4 times 2 is 8. It's basically the same thing. You still do the same process as you do with a unit fraction. Okay? Next we have times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 3 is 12. Then we have times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 4 is 16. Next we have times 5. Right? So 5 times 5 is 25. 4 times 5 is 20. Next we have times 6. Okay? 5 times 6 is 30. 4 times 6 is 24. 4, 8, 12, 16. Alright, 6, 12, 18, 24. Yep. Okay. So, now we have times 7. 7 times 5 is 35. And 7 times 4 is 28. 7, 14, 21, 28. Yep. And here's a trick. When you're doing this, all you have to do is count 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28. And here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And that happens to all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42. And if you can even go back to the other ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as the denominators. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Right? And the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And yeah. So, now that we have finished this problem, these two fractions, and found the equivalent fractions, you guys can comment down below of if you got both these fractions right, if you got one of the fractions right, or if you got none of the fractions right. If you got none of them, no problem. Keep working. If you got one of them right, still, no problem. Keep working. If you got both of them right, good job. But still, keep working. Okay, since we have concluded this video and the lesson, you guys can complete these last 3 steps. The first step is to like this video. Second step is to share this video to everyone you know. And the third step is to smash that subscribe button. And while you're there, ring that bell icon. Yeah, the notification bell. Well, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.